to come on sound effects. Move the furniture. Man, if you give me a hand, we've got a jug band. Ladies and gentlemen, a real live jug band. Still to come on sound effects. Also, your choice of station.
It sounds so sweet. Oh, it's hard to beat. Jug band music certainly was a treat to me.
Well, first, I don't know if you saw, he infiltrated the Dirty Birdie Band.
That's right.
In the tees, Randy's back there going, and the leader goes, who are you? What the hell's going on?
Randy's a real frat guy from Wade. I knew this was trouble.
All right, the Dirty Birdies Band, a new album out, which we will talk about. But first, what we want to talk about a little, let me squeeze in here so I don't block everybody out. I'll squeeze right in here, is what is...
Would you like to play the kazoo with us?
Well, maybe later. I don't know. This is music. Jug band music is really music that originated out of necessity, right? There wasn't money for instruments. What there was there were jugs.
There was jugs and kitchen instruments, right? In our case, as well as in the traditional case, the original jug bands were kind of itinerant street musicians and different conglomerations of whoever was in town at the time.
Where did this originate from? What part of the country?
Memphis, Louisville, that kind of southern.
Back in like the 20s?
Southern stuff, yeah. The 20s was the heyday of the jug bands, the traditional jug bands, that you can still get, by the way, on Yazoo records.
Yeah. And something interesting also we talked a little bit about this when we were reading some of the information, was that during the Depression, jug bands sort of went under or went away for a while.
Jugs didn't, but jug bands did.
Yeah, certainly. Which seems odd because of that. That would be the one thing you would think that would still thrive.
Go figure. You know, it may have been something where, you know, it may have reminded people too much of what was going on around them other ways, you know, so.
Now talk about some of the instruments that then caught on there. So some of the obvious instruments we're familiar with, but also some like the washboard. When did that come into play and why?
Washboard, at the end of the day, washing was done, everybody would come home, and they'd pick up whatever was laying around, and it was a washboard, and there was a wash tub and things like that, and thimbles on the fingers to make the noise.
Is this the kind of music that you'd sit around out on the porch with your neighbors and grab whatever you had?
You gotta play in the colors of beat, huh?
Now, okay, talk to me about this right here.
Well, you can either play music on it or do your laundry in it.
So what was this? Was this a...
Well, people actually took their wash tubs and turned them into a musical instrument, and after you're finished, you can turn it back upside down and use it for your laundry again.
Now, so how is it that you guys don't traditionally play, or you don't play what is traditionally thought of as jug music, right? Jug band music?
We have a mixed repertoire. We do some traditional jug band, we do some bluegrass, we do some spirituals, we do some rock and roll.
So what attracted you to was it just the novelty of attracting you?
It was lack of skill.
Not trained musicians, you mean?
Not trained musicians, and we wanted to have some fun.
A good time, you know? This is our 30th anniversary, by the way.
And this is the 30 years you've been doing this.
That's right.
This is the Dirty Birdie 30 tour.
And the name of the album is Endangered Species. We're going to give you a little taste right now. We have a whole crew of dancers out here. The Dirty Birdies.
All right.
Jug band music.
Well, a rich guy drives in an automobile. A poor gal, she does quite the same. But my gal, she rides an old hay wagon. You know, she gets there just the same. Well, I'll be there in the morning if I live. I'll be there in the morning if I don't get killed. Oh, if I never no more see you again, I'll be sure won't to remember me. Now listen well. Now the little gal, you don't grandma yet. Now the poor gal, you know she gonna drink the same. But now my gal, she's drinking polish. You know she's getting high, just the same. Come on, boy, girl. Well, I'll be there in the morning if I live. I'll be there in the morning if I don't get killed. Oh, if I never no more see you again, I'll be sure I want to remember me. Yeah, let's go, Billy.